Smoke, gang. God bless and great day, everybody. God bless and great day, everybody. Thank you, Father God. Thank you, Lord Jesus, for another blessed day. Y'all already know it's King T 420 SEC, and this is Smoking with the King. Each and every Friday at 420 is Smoking with the King. Y'all can catch me here on YouTube and TikTok. Yes, sir, at 420 Eastern Time every Friday. We don't miss a beat, gang. Smoke Gang in the crib. What's good? What's the deal, Smoke Gang? What's going on? What's the deal, Smoke Gang? What's good? Happy Friday, everybody. Happy Friday. Yes, it is a great day. Oh, I walked the dog a couple times today. Got some of that good fresh sunlight. Enjoy the weather. What y'all had up today? What y'all been on today? Let me see. Let me join the chat. Let me join the chat. See what the chat's talking about. What's going on in the chat room? Let me see what we got here. Okay. All right. Well, the show has started. So, God bless again and great day to everybody. Y'all know I'm the host of the show, King T 420 SEC, also known as Tommy. So, for those who don't know me, I'm Tommy, BKA King T 420 SEC. Nice to meet everybody. And this Friday show, as y'all can see, is called thought I was gonna tell you that. Nah, I'm definitely gonna read the scriptures first. This is every Friday thing. We read the scriptures first, and then after we read the scriptures, we move forward. So for all those who are new, who don't understand how we do this, this is how we do this. We read the scriptures first, and then we move forward. Most of the time, I wait till I see a couple people in the room, and then I start the show. But while we wait, y'all can tap the screen and tell me how y'all doing in the comments. Tell me what y'all got up on this Friday. Engage. What y'all doing this Friday? What we got on the floor? What y'all got on the floor this Friday? What y'all got up? What everybody doing? While we wait on a couple people to come in here. What everybody doing? Hello. Deshaun, what's going on? Renee, what's the deal, everybody? God bless. We just waiting on a couple people to get in the room. I can start now. So the very first verse I'm going to read comes from the King James Version first. Of course, always King James Version first, then the NIV second, and then the verse breakdown. So let's go with it. The very first one is 1 Corinthians 14 and 33. For God is not the author of confusion, but of peace, as in all churches of the saints. For those who don't understand the King James Version, don't worry. The King is with y'all. I'm definitely going to read it from the NIV as well. So let's go with it. The NIV, 1 Corinthians 14 and 33. For God is not the author of disorder, but of peace, as in all the congregations of the Lord's people. So what this verse tells us, the breakdown is, God moves in clarity. If your relationships, relationships, not meaning just the people that you're dating, but relationships period, family members, friends, people you dating, if your relationships are full of confusion, miscommunication, and guessing games, that is not of God. Okay, we shall move forward. And the second verse we have from Habakkuk, King James Version, Habakkuk 2 and 2. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. know I'm gonna switch over. Gotta do the NIV for those who don't understand the KJV. Let's go with it. Then the Lord replied, write down the revelation and make it plain on tablets, so that a herald may run with it. Y'all know I got you. I be pulling up some for y'all, don't I? I be pulling up the ones for y'all, don't I? It's because I kind of like to give y'all the knowledge. We all need the knowledge, so I'll be getting the knowledge for y'all. So, we're going to go to the breakdown, right? The breakdown says God tells us to make the vision plain. That communication, God tells us to make the vision plain. That's communication. That's clarity. Both verses show us that confusion and disorder aren't from God. Clarity is tied to peace, right? So that means, again, in any relationship that you're in, if there is miscommunication, if there's games being played, if there is disorder, if there is all types of turmoil, that is not of God. This is what we know. God himself said he is not the author of confusion, disorder, turmoil. He is not the author of those things, right? So, we're going to move forward and go ahead and really get started with the show, right? So, on some real shit smoke, guys. Let's do it, right? We talk about how people want real love, loyalty, or support. But what we don't talk about is how these people don't make it clear what they actually need or expect, right? So we talk about a lot of things about people, how people want this, how people say they want that, and and how they go about getting it. But we never go about talking about how people actually come at you and tell you what they want. Like, people are never completely clear about what they want when they come to you and tell you that they want something or that they need something. In a relationship, people beat around the bush. In friendships, people might not even tell you how they feel for real until it's a big blow up. And with family, you and family, y'all bicker, y'all go back and forth. And the whole thing in y'all bickering, going back and forth is really just a miscommunication, right? So what we get from this is that, again, clarity means a lot. A lot of the miscommunications and a lot of the bickering and a lot of disorderly conversations that you have with your family and friends, they come from a miscommunication. Because, again, God is not the author of confusion. So that means the confusion, the misunderstanding, the miscommunication, which started all the turmoil, was really just that. It was just a miscommunication. You understand? It wasn't even meant for it. It wasn't meant for that. All that is needed in this moment is just a little bit of clarity. A lot of us will skip over the fact that in the midst of a heated argument or heated debate, that you haven't really gotten clarity from the person that you actually going through this heated argument or this heated debate with. But you do know that in the midst of this heated argument and in the midst of this heated debate, that you are adamant about getting your point across. I need to get my point across. I have to get my point across. No, you just don't understand. You're not understanding me. Just hear my point. Just hear me out. Listen to me. I'm trying to tell you. You're just not hearing me, right? But at the same time, the person who you having the heated argument or the heated debate with, they are saying the same things that you're saying, right? So again, a lot of the miscommunications that we have, a lot of the misunderstandings that we have will all be cleared up with just a little bit of clarity from both sides. You understand? So, I'll give you an example. So a brother and another brother could be arguing over a basketball game because one of them took a shot that the other one didn't want him to take, right? So they have a miscommunication because the one brother read the sign and he thought the signal was to shoot. But the other brother was like, no, when I threw the sign, he bumped me. Therefore, it was a miscommunication and I threw the wrong sign. At least to you, it looked like I threw the wrong sign because in the midst of me throwing the sign, he bumped me and boom. Now it's an argument, fight between brothers, but it could have been squashed just by them having that simple little conversation about I was bumped and the wrong sign happened. It's all right, bro. We gonna get back. It ain't nothing, right? You understand? So sometimes clarity in any situation is all we need. But us being the people that we are, we don't always tend to find clarity. We don't always tend to get clarity when we think when we think we're supposed to. Sometimes the clarity it just misses us because it still be a lot of sparks flying, still be a lot of words being hurled, still be a lot of emotions in the midst of all of that. So nobody still gets real clarity. Nobody still gets real understanding of what the other one is saying in the midst of the heated debate or the heated argument or the heated back and forth. And I'm touching on that part because lately it's been a lot of people doing things out of emotion, and it probably all could have been solved or squashed and just left alone if it was a little clarity and a little communication. But the miscommunication and the misunderstandings between people lately have been leading people to do a lot of things that we are not meant to do to each other. A lot of people have been taking a lot of people away from here. God bless, God rest those people's souls, and God bless those families, things like that. But again, clarity in any situation. Say you go to a party with one of your friends. You understand? Just like, I ain't gonna speak on that. Just say you go to a party with one of your friends, right? And your friend knows the host of the party. And you know what? Your friend end up getting, into a little argument with somebody at the party and shit. You find the host of the party. The host of the party come over, talk to the two people, get a little understanding, a little clarity. Boom, squash the whole shit. Now let's do that same example a different way. You go to the party with your friend, and your friend get into a scuffle with a little somebody, and instead of you going to get the host to come and defuse the situation, you jump into it with your friend. Now it's a whole party fight, 4, 5, 8 people fighting, and people getting hurt, and some people end up whatever. You understand? So you have to have a little clarity in everything you do. Don't be so quick to always want a person to understand you if you're not just as quick to want a person to get an understanding of that person. You understand? Because at the same time that you in a rush for that person to understand you, they feel the same way. Most people just want to be heard. And a lot of things that's happening right now is a lot of people just not being heard in certain situations. And that's the problem in a lot of situations. Because again, a miscommunication, a misunderstanding, that means clarity means a lot. And without clarity, this is why a lot of people are getting into it with other people. You understand? And listen, misunderstandings can lead to a road of bad decisions. People have turned their back on their whole families for bad decisions. People have turned their back on their whole relationships, just broke up whole relationships just for bad decisions, just because they had a misunderstanding and didn't have clarity of what was really happening at the moment in the situation. So again, clarity means a lot, right? So let's go with it, right? Where we at? Clarity removes confusion. If you don't tell someone what you need, don't get mad when they don't deliver, right? So again, if clarity is what you need, right? If the situation only calls for clarity, but you haven't told the person clearly what you need or what you're asking for, how can you expect for that person to deliver? And this is what I mean about clarity, communication. Most times it'd be a miscommunication or a misunderstanding. And a lot of situations don't have to end up the way that they end with people fighting, people breaking up, people want to cheat on people, people not talking to their family members for years and years and years and things like that. And people, whole friendships just breaking up just because of miscommunication and misunderstanding, just because clarity was not in the picture. You understand? So sometimes it's good to get clarity. Sometimes it's good to be the person to want to get the understanding of the other person, so you can give them a better understanding of you because you do have a clear understanding of them. You understand? Sometimes it's better to be the person to sit and wait your turn. Listen, just observe, pay attention to what they're saying to you. You understand? But most of the time, most people just want to be heard. And this is why there is no clarity. And this is why no one is delivering anything that no one is asking for, because there's no clarity between the two. There's been a miscommunication between the two. There's been a misunderstanding that no one's trying to actually get an understanding of. Why is there a misunderstanding here? What happened? What is the miscommunication? Let's stop here. Let's think. What happened? Tell me what you see. Tell me what's going on with you. Let me get an understanding of why you feel this way, so I can maybe rebuttal if need be. But I then might understand, because you're going to give me some clarity on what you're saying, on what you really mean here. Clarity means a lot. This is why a lot of y'all, again, go through some of the things that y'all go through. Y'all can step off into a situation, run it with your homeboys, like, shit, homie would be like, shit, come rock out with me, I just need to take a ride real quick. Instead of you saying, well, shit, where you riding to, and getting some real clarity on what's going on in the situation, you just like, shit, fuck it, and hop in the car with homie. You done hopped in the car with homie, and now homie done took you over there, and he finna pull a whole shootout. You ain't know nothing about it. Like, hold on, wait, bro. You ain't told me nothing like this. So again, clarity is a good thing. You understand? It don't matter what type of relationship it is. It doesn't matter if it's a platonic relationship. It doesn't matter if it's a family relationship. It doesn't matter if it's a relationship with a mate, someone that you are trying to be intimate with. Clarity means it all. A lot of you people, again, in the relationships that y'all are in, a lot of y'all have the misunderstandings and things that y'all have because none of y'all are trying to get clarity of what the other is saying. That's why it's so much pushback coming from both sides, because both sides are just got so much push, so much hear me, and no one is actually taking the time to realize that if one of y'all actually sit down and hear the other one out, y'all might have already saw the problem already. But most of y'all ain't doing that. Most of y'all just saying, fuck it, it's over, and y'all moving on to the next mate. Then y'all get with the next mate, and then y'all wonder, well, what the hell is going on here? Because now it's the same thing. It's the same problem. What is happening? What is happening? Because you're not getting clarity. You're not getting an understanding before you just up and leave. See, some situations you might not even have to leave. Some situations you leave just because you think you know what's going on. And instead of actually finding out what's really going on, you assume and you go, not knowing, and then you'll find out. See, and that's what happened with people. People will find out that they made an assumption about something, and then they left the situation, and then they end up being mad. Like, damn, I ain't even have to leave that situation. That was a good situation. Like, yeah, but you didn't take the time to get no clarity in the situation. You took no time to get no real understanding of the person that you were dealing with in the situation. So instead of actually talking and communicating where there was a misunderstanding so everybody could have an understanding, again, everybody just wanted to be heard. Nobody wanted to really be understood because they weren't trying to understand no one else. And boom, there goes the breakup. Like, so that's what kind of happens. Like, after you go through these little moments and these periods, and you find people and you keep meeting people, friends, and people being intimate with, family members, you keep on having these little headbutts, these little misunderstandings and these miscommunications, and you start to look like, dang, is it me? Yes, it probably is you, because instead of you thinking that you're being a problem, just think that you're not getting an understanding of the other person that you're dealing with. It may not even be that you're being a problem. It may not be that they're being a problem. It may, again, be that clarity is needed for the situation. Clarity means a lot. And a lot of y'all don't realize that. A lot of y'all just, I'm telling you, a lot of y'all will mess up a whole situation just because you don't have no understanding of what be going on. And you could possibly be about to change your whole life, turn your whole life around, but you don't want to work on getting understanding. You don't want to work on getting clarity. You don't want to work on seeing what is it about this person that got this person putting in so much work, because they have clarity, they have an understanding. And instead of you actually going to talk to them and actually getting clarity and getting an understanding yourself, you just run off. Forget it, I'll figure out something else. And y'all just keep doing that. Y'all keep bouncing from one thing to the other thing, from one thing to the other thing, and still getting no understanding of why none of these things are working for you. Because you're clearly misinterpreting something. You're clearly missing something. The misunderstanding is most times because there is no clarity of the situation. All most people have to do really is get a little bit of clarity in most situations, pull yourself into the situation instead of trying to push yourself out of it, because with all the force you got behind understand me, pull yourself in and get an understanding of what they're talking about. You understand? Then once you do get an understanding, you will have more clarity on what the situation really is like. And then you might actually be able to deal with the situation. You might actually like the situation. You understand? But a lot of y'all don't even work on getting a clear understanding of the situations that y'all step into. Y'all step y'all foot into a situation and not really know much about it, right? I'm telling y'all these things because I know I did it. Trust me, I ain't just talking to y'all. I was young and I opened a business. I ain't know nothing about business, but I opened a business, right? It ain't make no hell of a money or no shit like that. You know why? Because I didn't know nothing about business. I just took my foot and I just stepped off into that shit like, well, I guess now we just gonna be doing some business shit, right? That wasn't a smart thing to do. All I had to do was actually go and get a little bit of clarity. How do I run a business? What would be a good thing to do to market business? How do I produce in business? Meaning, I should have went and learned more about business, got a little bit more clarity on what it was to run a business, right? But again, a lot of us don't really be having an understanding that we need to go and get a real understanding. It's a bigger picture to a lot of things, and we mess up a whole great situation because we didn't see the bigger picture. You understand? We miss out on our boat because we think we supposed to be on some big old huge yacht, when low key that boat was a new modern age special boat, and the boat part was under the water. You couldn't even see it. You see what I'm saying? So we got to stop misjudging situations with not having clarity. A lot of people misjudge situations. For instance, a guy reading a woman wrong because he felt like she done flirted with him a little bit, and all she really did was say hi. Listen, misunderstanding. It's cool. She told you, no, I didn't mean it like that. I was just speaking. I was just being cordial. Take that with a grain of salt. Oh, it's cool, and keep it pushing. You know what I'm saying? Don't be like some of these dudes out here who want to turn around, have a whole feel, oh, you told me this. I thought we was. It was just a, hey, how you doing? And then keep it pushing, brother. Come on, man. You got to know. Y'all got to have an understanding. Get real clarity. You can see when a person really flirting with you because they don't really flirt with you. It just is what it is. I mean, for real. Let's be honest about it. When people flirting, they flirt. People be flirting, right? You have an understanding. A lot of y'all don't really be wanting understanding. So let's go with this. The unspoken needs breed resentment. Silent expectations set people up for failure. So what does that mean, right? Unspoken needs breed resentment. So that means if you're in a relationship, no matter what type of relationship it is, again, no matter if it's platonic, no matter if it's just a friend, no matter if it's somebody you're intimate with, no matter if it's a family member, Unspoken needs breed resentment. So if you got something that you want to say to your family member, or got something that you want to ask them, no matter who it is, your friend, your family member, your loved one, no matter who it is, you ask, you say it. If you think they need help, you ask them if they need help. It may actually be something that you can do. But again, if closed mouths don't get fed, that's what we heard our whole lives. Closed mouths don't get fed, and a lot of y'all, again, won't ask the people around. Do you need something? You won't speak up on your own behalf. Listen, well, I feel like you're doing this to me. You gotta learn to do these type of things, because everybody not gonna just have an understanding that you feel a certain type of way. It's just the truth, because everybody don't feel like you. Everybody's different. Everybody has a whole different understanding of how everybody else feels. One person might think you in a good mood, another person might think you look sad to me. So you never understand how another person perceives what the situation is. So instead of just assuming that the person perceives the situation a certain kind of way, you can just talk to that person and get clarity, get an understanding. Don't let it just be a misunderstanding or a miscommunication, and then everything just kind of sort of fall apart, because instead of you saying something, which you could have said something, you don't say nothing. And then the people don't have understanding, they get fed up, they get frustrated just like you, and you ain't even gotta be the one person want to leave. You ain't even gotta be the person that don't want to deal with no more. Guess what? Because the other person that got frustrated and fed up, now they want to leave. Now they don't want to deal no more. Because you weren't clear about the understanding. There was an unspoken resentment that you built up, and you started walking around with a chip on your shoulder instead of talking to the people. You started acting funny. You started giving them negative energy. Started doing stuff that you didn't really think they noticed, but they noticed it. They got tired of it. Like, I don't got to put up with you being negative all the time for whatever reason. You haven't even told me that there was a reason you felt like this. You didn't even tell me that it was something you needed. You didn't even ask me for nothing. How I'm supposed to know that you need something? See, then again, closed mouths don't get fed. People will walk around and expect for you to just automatically know what you want, what they want from you. My name ain't Cleo the Psychic. I don't know what none of you motherfuckers want. Again, I don't know what none of you motherfuckers want. If you're not talking to me and asking me and opening your mouth, again, closed mouths don't get fed. And just because just because a person asks you something, don't mean you have to say yes. But you can be cordial enough to tell them no. Like, no, not this time, but thank you for offering. Or, not this time, but maybe next time I see y'all, I just got some things going on. Whatever the case might be, don't just be the type of person who you got this negative energy with people, because it's like, man, you always want me to do something. The situation, like, you can't be mad at people, and people can't be mad at you either because you don't want to do it. That's where y'all got to get over yourself. People need to get over themselves, because they feel like the clarity that they have of a situation, or the clarity and the understanding that they have of a situation, another person is just supposed to automatically have it and just supposed to automatically feel the same way. It's not how life works. I do understand you, but I don't feel the same way, because I don't want to do that. And a lot of y'all will get mad at a person for telling y'all, I don't want to do that. Again, I understand you. And I know how you feel about the situation. But I don't feel the same way about the situation. And that's just clarity. Clarity means a lot, right? So when you find out how they feel about the situation, you might actually understand why they don't want to do it. You see what I'm saying? Because they understand why you want them to do it clearly. They're telling you, like, no, I get it, I understand. This, that's what's up too. But at the same time, so instead of being mad at the person because they don't want to do it, get a little clarity, get a little understanding why they don't want to do it. You understand? Listen, families have been torn apart by words. Simple little words that could have been misunderstood. And that's where the problem is. Because some misunderstandings don't even have to happen. You understand? Some people, if all you need is a little clarity, just ask. If all you need is a little clarity, all you have to do is ask. But most people, they be too scared to even ask for the clarity that they need in the situation with the people that they are with. These are the people that you are with. Closed mouths don't get fed. If you need an understanding of the situation, talk to the person that you're with. Friend, family member, or mate. Get an understanding. Get some clarity. A lot of people will mess up a whole situation because they don't have no clarity of what's going on in the situation. And the mate that they with can actually really want to rock with them. Like, no, I'm rocking with you. You know what I'm saying? But you a little confused because you don't understand. You just need a little clarity. Well, tell me, why is it that you always do this? Or tell me, why is it that this thing always happens whenever I come around? And if you need a little clarity, get some clarity. There's nothing wrong with getting clarity. But listen, let me tell y'all something. Don't use those moments that you call yourself getting clarity as moments where you're really being insecure. Because people pay attention to that too. You can't take your insecurities out on me and think you're going to call that getting clarity. That's not how that works. Once I done broke down what's happening, what's really going on, and I know you should have an understanding, I don't have to keep going over a situation over and over again. You're a grown person. You understand? So sometimes it's not even about the person that's giving the understanding. Sometimes it's about the person who's supposed to be receiving the understanding, who's just trying not to receive it. Sometimes when the person mad at you, they don't want to understand where you're coming from and what's going on with you. They'd rather not. They'd rather just be mad at you for a few more minutes. Just let me be angry with you for right now. Fuck your understanding. You fucking motherfucker, this is what the fuck. And that's how they be feeling. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, as grown people, we know how to step back and be like, okay, well, I'm going to let you have your moment. You go ahead and have your moment, and then when you're ready to talk and get a real understanding, I'll let you get understanding. I ain't got no problem with that. You see what I'm saying? But a lot of people don't really be wanting to do that. You have to learn to get clarity in the situation. Sometimes getting clarity out of situations takes a lot of patience. And a lot of y'all don't have patience nowadays. That's another part of the problem. If you had more patience, you would be able to sit for a moment and get an understanding of what someone is saying to you. You will be able to sit for a moment and listen to what the person is saying and not only get an understanding, but you will be able to break it down into your own version of an understanding and then really have clarity on what's going on in the situation. But a lot of y'all don't even be knowing what be going on in the situation. Y'all just talk so fast, y'all think so fast, and think you know what be happening, and don't even be knowing what be happening. You be like, yo, I didn't even say that. That ain't even what this moment was for. Like, how did you take this moment and make this moment this? Because people don't be having understandings. A miscommunication can lead to, again, confusion and misunderstandings. So clarity is all we need sometimes. And a lot of people, you listen, if you fucking with people that's like you, then sitting down getting an understanding shouldn't be a problem, right? Smoke gang shit. This is just what we do. This is a smoke gang thing. When motherfuckers talking to us, we know how to sit down and get an understanding. And guess what? When we get to an understanding where we still don't agree, we know how to agree to disagree. It ain't gotta be no, oh, this motherfucker, this stupid motherfucker, this motherfucker ain't got no shit. Ain't gotta be all that shit. Because once you get some clarity of the situation, all you can do is agree and disagree, right? That's all that can possibly happen. And guess what? If you disagree, you don't have to fucking choose to be around or do whatever it is that the person who you was with was doing. You go do something else. You go find somebody else. You go be with somebody else. Whatever the case might be. But y'all have to stop letting little minor discrepancies, little minor misunderstandings, little minor miscommunications break up the whole family. Come in between you and whatever it is that y'all got going on while y'all building. And again, it don't matter who you with. Talking about your mate, just your friend, or your family members, because a lot of people is estranged from their family just from a few words that could have been clarified. And then nobody want to get an understanding. Then nobody want to clarify. Everybody just too prideful, too strong to be like, shit. Well, maybe I didn't understand what you were saying. Why don't you tell me what you were saying? Let me get a real understanding. Everybody too prideful to say, well, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't have said that because before I got a real understanding of what you said, I said that, and I probably fuck with your feelings. Don't nobody really want to take accountability for them being too impatient in the situation and not getting a real understanding, not getting real clarity in the situation. So a lot of people don't want to take accountability, and this is what it is. In 2025, people walk around and act like, well, I was told to love myself for who I am. I was told don't let nobody tell me I can't do nothing. I was told to tell people mind their business when I'm fucked up. No, and that's where this shit got fucked up at, because I wasn't taught that shit. I was taught when people being fucked up, you let them know you being fucked up. That's why I'm such a straightforward person now. That's why a lot of people don't like dealing with me, because when you come to me and you ask me a question, I'm a straight shooter. I'm gonna give it to you like it is. Like, nah, this is what you need to have. This is what it is. What up, Yvette? How you doing? Like, this is what it is. This is what you need to have. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people ain't giving you this. This is why you don't have no clarity right now. This is why you have a misunderstanding of what's going on with the whole everything around you, your whole circle, your whole universe. Everything is out of whack. You have no clarity on what's going on in your life. And people would be like, well, how you know that? How you see this? All you got to do is sit back and look at it yourself. And that would be the crazy part. As people, a lot of times, we can't just see us. We can't see who we are, right? We can see on the outside very well because our eyes see great, right? Yeah, we can see and help everybody else for sure. But when a person comes to us with constructive criticism, can we see that in ourselves? It'd be so hard for a lot of us to get an understanding of the constructive criticism that people give to us. And we'll sit back and be like, what made you think that about me? That ain't who I am. Knowing good and well in the back of your mind, like, damn, that really is who I am, though. And it's nothing wrong with that. But the thing is you have to accept who you are in order to understand and get clarity of who you are in order to change. Right? Because if you ain't accepting it, but this really is who you are, then you will never change. You understand? So, again, clarity in the situation. Can you accept the same criticism that you dishing out? And a lot of us can't accept that same type of constructive criticism that we give to others. You know what I'm saying? It'd be hard for us to sit back and just listen and take in, well, I think you should do this, and if you did this a little bit more and you tweak this a little bit like that, then that'd be like, boom. A lot of us, it's hard for us to sit back and listen to that like, damn, that's how you feel about my meal? Damn, I ain't, you know what I'm saying? So you hear these type of things and it's an automatic defense system kind of sort of that come up immediately, like, whoa, is you talking about me type shit? You know what I'm saying? And it's not even necessarily the person that cares about you is talking about you. You know what I'm saying? Again, clarity is a good thing. Clarity means a lot. So if you actually get an understanding of why they telling you these things about yourself, because if it is a person that actually loves you, if it is a person that actually rocks with you and they care about you a certain kind of way, they're going to give you the constructive criticism only so it can better you, only so it can help you move forward in life and you can become a better person with you and evolve, elevate, and so on and so forth, etc., etc. We know how it go, right? But if you cannot accept the constructive criticism, right? How will you elevate? How will you ever elevate? Excuse me. How will you ever elevate? It's like that simple, because you have to be able to look inside yourself and see your wrongs and be able to change them. Like, we all know ain't nobody perfect, right? So if we all know ain't nobody perfect, then the people that love you not just coming to you and telling you these things and then like acting like, well, I know you Mr. Perfect, or I know you Miss Perfect, but I just personally think this, if you did this, you'd be a little better. You can't look at them like, well, motherfucker, you just said I'm Mr. Perfect, right? Or you just said I'm Miss Perfect, right? I don't got to do shit better. Can't be like that. Because again, we can all be better. None of us are perfect. You understand? And trying to be and build relationships with the people around us, our family members, our friends, our mate, working on building these relationships with these people, you have to be open to getting a better understanding of them, as well as getting an understanding of why they feel a way about you, especially if it's the loved one. You understand? Like, listen, people that love each other don't just go around talking about each other and beating each other down and stuff like that. This is what you already know. So if this person actually does love you, and they actually coming around you and they telling you something about yourself, maybe you should actually take the time and listen and see what they're trying to say to you. Maybe they actually have some interesting insight, something that might actually change your outlook, something that might actually change your view on yourself. Instead of being so pushed back with it, instead of putting this wall up and saying, oh no, this is not right, instead of fighting it like no, this just can't be true, accept what is being said to you and go and look at yourself. Now, if it's not true, then, you know, it's a hater everywhere, right? And you ain't got to accept nothing that a hater say. But again, if we talking about somebody who actually loves you, somebody who actually wants to see you doing better, then maybe you need to go and take a look at what they're telling you. A lot of y'all don't be wanting to do that. Y'all be comfortable. Y'all get content. Y'all be content with being who y'all are. Like, that's just the most perfect thing in the world. Like, I'm just so, and that'd be the problem. Like, don't nobody want to work on being better. There's nothing wrong with working on being better. We can all be better people as people. And again, in a lot of situations that we be in, if we was to get just a little bit of clarity sometimes, if we was just to get a little bit of clarity sometimes, you know what I'm saying? The situation wouldn't get so volatile. It wouldn't get so toxic. It wouldn't get so extreme. It wouldn't get so next level. You know what I'm saying? Because when you get clarity, there is no misunderstandings. When you get clarity, there's no miscommunications, because you've actually taken the time to hear what the person is telling you and what they mean while you understand? So don't ever get to a place where you're too comfortable to have a real understanding of what the people around you are saying. Because again, if they're not a hater, if they're not a snake in the grass, right? If they are really somebody who really cares about you, they're only trying to see you dust your shoulders off. Get the dirt off your shoulders. You understand? They only want to see you doing better. And this is real talk. This is real life. You can't be the type of person who always get upset when the people around you tell you, like, no, you need to work on this. And I know you need to work on this, because if you was to do this a little bit better, you wouldn't even be in the situation that you're in right now. Like, oh, okay, you make $80,000 right now. If you was to tweak it and do this right here, you might make $120,000. I ain't even lying, because I could just see it in you. You know what I'm saying? But we don't be wanting to listen to that clarification sometimes. We be so stubborn. Again, we be so prideful, stuck in our own ways, led by our own blind sight. You understand? Sometimes we do be led by our own blind sight. It's just how it go. And, you know, when you love yourself and you independent, and you know, you don't really like to depend on people, you kind of, follow yourself blindly a lot. And you got to stop doing that too. Again, this is why you have to take that constructive criticism from people. This is why you have to listen to the people that care about you and love you. This is why you have to pay attention to the simple little small facts that they give you about yourself that'll make you better. Because these things will actually make you better. It's not like they're telling you these things because they just want to hate on you. They're not the hater. They're the person that loves you. They want you to do better. They want to see you shining. They want to see you reach the next peak. They want to see you at the top of your game. This is the person that loves you. They don't want bad for you, right? But a lot of us, we build up this unspoken, resentment because the people around us don't hear us. We feel like we're not being heard. We feel like we talking, but we're not really talking, right? So in that silence, you know what I'm saying, is an expectation that sets people up for failure. Because silent expectations is like, it's like you saying you want hamburgers for dinner in your head, but never telling your mate that you want hamburgers for dinner. And then dinner time come, and then you just get mad. You just got this anger in your heart because they didn't cook you hamburgers. They didn't buy you a hamburger. In fact, they came in the door with fried chicken. But guess what? You didn't tell them exactly what was going on. You had expectations for a person that you never told that you had expectations for. How a person supposed to know what you expecting if you ain't told them, well, this is what I expect out of you? You understand? And it's just how it goes. And this is what we also learned, right? God operates in clarity. If we want peace and healthy relationships, we need to communicate directly and with honesty. It's just that simple. You have to be direct with what you say. You can't beat around the bush. You can't say this and mean that. You got to be direct with what you say and be completely honest. Completely honest. So the person that you are communicating with has a complete understanding where there is no misunderstanding. There is no miscommunication. They have total and complete clarity. Clarity means a lot. And this is why. You can't send a person to the store and be like, yo, give me a bag of chips, but you're allergic to salt and vinegar chips. You don't tell them that you're allergic to salt and vinegar chips, but you say, give me a bag of chips, not knowing they favorite chips is salt and vinegar. So guess what they gonna get? Salt and vinegar. Clarity means a lot. You can't fucking expect people to know what you expect out of them if you have not told them. People need the small details. A lot of y'all leave out the small details, not expecting for people to understand that there are small details that come with that. No, most people know it's smaller, is more to go with this. So what else? And y'all just leave it out. You can't just keep leaving shit out and then get mad at people because they don't understand what you're talking about. You understand? Like, clarity is key to everything. You don't just put yourself out there halfway and then be like, well, yo, you were supposed to caught on to what I was saying. You didn't tell me you didn't give me nothing to go by to catch on to what you were saying. What are we talking about here? Like, it's not a guessing game. The world is not a guessing game. It's not for you to be out here guessing and maybe this, maybe that. No. When you talking to people, you have to be clear with people. Like some of you guys that be flying some of these women out and end up getting these women out to y'all hotels and out to y'all cities and she like, oh no, I'm not sleeping with you. And now you mad and want to go ballistic because she not finna sleep with you. But at the same time, you didn't make it clear that once she got there that she had to sleep with you. And you didn't spend all this money. Like, what do y'all be thinking? Clarity means a lot. It's key to everything. Communication. Y'all be having misunderstandings and y'all just be so eager to get a little cute chick. Ooh, she cute. She got a nice booty. She in shape, man. Hurry up, get her over here. You be in such a hurry to get her over there, you ain't even know she had already had an actual boyfriend that live over there already. She got a boyfriend in every other state she go to. She that type. You ain't know. Soon as she landed, he was there to pick her up off the plane. But see, y'all be having a misunderstanding of yourself too, because y'all be having this high feeling of yourself. I'm in charge right now because I can do this. I can make this move. I can make this play. Everybody can't make this play. What that mean? She just see you as a sucker or a simp that can make the play for her, because you ain't got no clarity, and she got complete clarity. She know exactly what's finna happen. I'm gonna take this flight, and once I get there, I'm finna go meet up with my nigga, and then I'm gonna block this nigga. He'll never hear from me again. Right? But see, y'all don't be understanding, man. Y'all just put yourself in these situations where it's like, you just know. Like, you can't just know everything, family. Family, smoke game. You can't just know everything. You gotta get the information that you need before you set off into a venture. I just told y'all what I did. I opened a business and didn't know shit about business. I'm being honest. I opened a business and didn't know shit about business. You see what I'm saying? Like, before you do something, learn about it so you can know what's going on with it. So it can actually be lucrative for you and the people around you. Don't let the shit that you doing just be some shit you doing just because it's like, fuck it look cool, everybody else doing it. And I mean, I know I can't get no trouble for doing it, but fuck it. No, learn about that shit. Like, it's a lot of money out here, a lot of sources of money that a lot of people ain't tapped into because y'all really scared to learn about it. Y'all scared to take yourself to learn about, well, how do I make taxes work for me? How do I get into the stock game? Like, how do I become an investor? How do I get into the real estate game? Instead of being mad that you see the people around you doing it, or instead of just jumping into it like, fuck it, I'm gonna just go buy a house, and you end up buying a piece of shit house that you end up losing all type of money on, go get some clarity of the situation. That's all it takes. Clarity means a lot. Once you learn more about the situation, it's 9 times out of 10, you won't be able to buy a house that's a piece of shit. It's just like, you know what? Let me tell you about this too. Let me tell you about this. The very first time I leased a car, right? I leased a truck from these people called F&M Auto. Now, I ain't gonna say they messed up people, but I'm gonna say we had messed up dealings because they leased me a car that was a whole ass lemon, and they made it seem to me that it was a nice running ass vehicle, right? But guess what? That's my fault because I didn't have more clarity on the type of situation I was getting myself into with the vehicle. Instead of actually taking my mechanic up there with me so he can check all the moving parts and see if this was that and that was this and figure out what was wrong with it before I took that motherfucker off the lot. I didn't do that. I just went to that motherfucker clean off the lot and I was like, yeah, and leased it, and yep, I got a motherfucking lemon that was a piece of shit. That motherfucker sat on the side of the road for like a year and 3 months. I'll never forget it. That motherfucker sat on the side of the road for like a year and 3 months. But I never make that decision again. I never make another move like that again. Because guess what? From here on out, when I go to buy a car, I'm gonna have clarity and I'm gonna take the mechanic. You feel me? So it's like certain situations that we step off into. Like, it's cool to love your people. It's cool to want to rock out with your people and shit like that. But don't just step off into some shit that you don't have no understanding of. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people get hurt by stepping into situations that they have no understanding of, and they would have not gotten hurt if they had more of an understanding of the situation. A lot of people miss whole plays, again, because they stepped off into a situation where they supposed to move like this, but they move like that, and they done blew the whole bag not knowing because they didn't have no clarity of the situation. Clarity means a lot. Clarity means a lot. And I tell y'all this because, again, I told y'all I'm seeing whole families break up over just a little bit of clarity. Over just a little bit of people having a misunderstanding with words, just words. You know what I'm saying? And once you go back and actually talk to these family members, and like, cause you know I didn't actually straighten out a few situations. So once I actually go back and talk to these family members and see that it was just a misunderstanding in the communication, I sit down and I get to telling them about how they missed each other and where the clarity would come in handy at. And again, pull families right back together. Like, so you can't lose the people in your life that you love because you being too stubborn to get an understanding. Don't be too stubborn to get clarity of a situation that's going to do well for you and for others around you. And don't be too stubborn to take note of the constructive criticism of the people that love you, because the people that love you are not going to constructively criticize you unless they really want to see you do better, right? All right? All right, Smoke Gang. I'm going to need y'all to do something. Smoke Gang. You feel me? Y'all going to have to start being bold enough. And I do mean y'all going to have to start being bold enough to speak your truth every time you're talking to somebody. I know that might be hard. I know a lot of y'all look at some people and y'all be like, yo, I don't even want to cross this boundary with this person. But guess what? Speak your truth. Be bold enough to speak your truth in every situation that you encounter. Every encounter, every person that you encounter, speak what's real in your mind and your heart, rationally and logically, what means and makes sense to you. Speak that and be that. Don't let nobody run you from who you is, right? And then behind that, set expectations. You have to start telling people what you expect from people. You cannot just expect for people to know what you expect from them when they just met you, or they again, family members, even though they just haven't just met you, they still don't know everything you think. They don't know every thought and every waking moment that you thinking. They don't know what's going on in your head, just like you don't know what's going on in their head. So you have to set expectations. You have to let people know, this is what I expect out of you. Like, this is what you expect out of me. This is what I expect out of you. And this is what should happen. Because if this is what you expect, this is what I can give you. I can give you the same thing that you can give me. And this is what you have to let people know. Set the boundary. Don't be scared to set the boundary. A lot of y'all be scared to set the boundary, and the boundary is what's going to lead you to the best person for you. The boundary is what's going to lead to the better relationship with your family. The boundary is what's going to lead to the better relationship with your friend, because they're going to know, the person is going to know that you're not somebody who can just be walked over. You're not somebody who they can just talk to any kind of way. You're not somebody who they can just use when they feel like calling you because I need a handout. Let me call this person right here. Set the boundaries. Set the expectations for people. You gotta do that. Because if you don't do that, people will constantly continue to believe that they can use you however they want to use you. People will feel like they can constantly do whatever they want to do, and you just gonna have to be like, well, whatever, man. What I'm gonna do about this situation? What you gonna do about this situation is you gonna speak up for yourself. You're not gonna let this person just dog you out. You're not just gonna let this person treat you any kind of way. You're gonna give this person some clarity. You're gonna set some expectations, and you're gonna set some boundaries so they don't overstep your boundaries and they don't treat you any kind of way. And you ask for what you really want from people, okay? I need you to do that. You have to really ask people for what you really want. Don't go and ask a person, listen, if your heart say go ask this person for $500, if that's what your heart say, go ask them. It don't matter how crazy it is. If your heart say ask this person not to come in here and talk so loud to you like that in your house, tell them not to talk so loud to you in your house. Y'all have to, listen, set the boundaries. Y'all have to set expectations for people. And you have to do this because real friends, real family members, real people, intimate people with each other, love each other enough to not overstep their boundaries. They not just gonna step out there like, well, fuck what you said. I don't rock with that. That ain't what I rock with. Like, nah, they not gonna do you like that. Because that's not what they're there for. They're there to get a little clarity on you. They're there to get a little understanding of you because they care about you. See, people that care about other people, they actually do want to have an understanding of the person that they care about. Might seem strange, might be weird to you, but to the people that I grew up with, that was a normal thing. We wanted to know the people that we loved, and we wanted to have an understanding of where they was coming from so we could get a better relationship with them, so our relationship wouldn't be torn or stretched, or so our relationship wouldn't be distant, so we didn't feel like we had to treat each other a certain kind of way. You understand? So it's just things like that we did when we was growing up. Is getting clarity, getting understanding. Clarity means a lot. And a lot of y'all will be in better situations if y'all got clarity over the situations that y'all are in. And I pray that the Lord gives you clarity so you can have vision to see the things that you're missing. I pray Lord gives you clarity so you can see if someone is really your friend or if they're using you. I pray that God gives you clarity to understand that everything is going to be okay through God's eyes, and God loves us, and God is going to always love us. And as long as you're reaching for knowledge and looking for knowledge and getting a clarity and getting understanding of the things that are happening in your life, God will always, He will always give you the clarity and understanding that you're looking for. All you have to do is seek the knowledge that He's given. So I want to thank everybody for coming out, joining me today, Smoking with the King, each and every Friday at 4:20 Eastern Time. I am King T, your host, King T, a.k.a. Tommy. You can call me Tommy, but I am King T 420 SCC. And I do appreciate everybody for coming out, joining me today. And I will see you guys next week. Smoke gang! We are gone.